My ex-wife took everything I had, then called just to laugh. You'll die alone and broke, she said, like it was a punchline. I had $183 left, and a week before rent was due. So I walked into a plasma donation center for $40, trying not to look as desperate as I felt. 6 months ago, I was 45 and freshly unemployed after 18 years in marketing. I thought losing my job would be the worst part. Nope. My wife filed for divorce within days, like she'd been waiting with the papers pre-signed. In court, her lawyer gutted me. I walked out with a trash bag of clothes and my dad's old watch. The real slap came the night the divorce finalized. She called from some party, music in the background, and her voice was bright and cruel. That's what happens to boring men, Michael, she said. Then she added, I should have left you years ago. I sat there staring at my empty apartment, hearing my own life get erased in real time. I couldn't afford pride. I couldn't afford food. So I ended up on Fletcher Street in a clinic that smelled like antiseptic and cheap air freshener. The receptionist smiled like she'd seen 100 broken men that day. First-time donors get $40, she said, sliding me a clipboard. The nurse Katie checked my vitals and drew a few vials of blood. She told me, I'll be back in 5 minutes. She didn't come back. 10 minutes passed, then 15. I watched her through the little office window, frozen in place with a phone pressed to her ear. She stared at her computer like it insulted her. Her face drained. Another staff member leaned in, then backed away fast. Katie looked at me again, then at the screen, like I was a ghost sitting in her chair. Finally, she walked out, pale as paper, voice shaking. Sir, don't move, she whispered. Stay exactly where you are. I tried to laugh. Am I dying or something? She swallowed hard. I need to call someone. Then the front door slammed open. 3 men in suits rushed in like they owned the building. Not security, not cops, real suits, quiet shoes, sharp eyes. The oldest one, silver hair, expensive cologne, walked straight toward me. He stopped. He stared. His mouth twitched like he forgot how to speak. After 32 years, he whispered, we finally found you. They moved me into a back office with dark wood and leather chairs. The silver-haired man introduced himself as Richard Thornton, CEO of Thornton Pharmaceuticals. I almost laughed again because it sounded fake. Then he slid a folder across the table, hands steady like this was church. What we found in your blood is miraculous, he said. His eyes weren't excited. They were hungry. I'm dying, he added, like he was reading the weather. I sat there blinking. Okay, what does that have to do with me? My voice came out small. Richard leaned closer. You have a genetic mutation so rare, only a handful of people on Earth have it. Your plasma creates antibodies that can treat Kellerman syndrome. He said it slow, like the words weighed something. Children die from it, always. Except, your blood can stop it, reverse it. I felt my stomach drop. You're telling me my blood is a cure? Richard nodded once. We've been searching since 1991. My daughter died from Kellerman's when she was 12. I built my company to find this. He tapped the folder. And now you're sitting here asking for $40. They offered me $15 million on the spot. I didn't sign anything until I got a lawyer. My lawyer didn't blink either. She pushed it to $18 million up front, 5% royalties on every treatment sold, and a seat on their board. 3 days later, the wire hit my account, and I stared at the number until my eyes burned. I didn't buy a yacht. I didn't buy revenge clothes. I started a foundation to pay for treatments for families who couldn't afford them. I watched videos of kids running in backyards, laughing like they'd never been sick a day in their lives. That part actually healed something in me. Then life handed me the cherry on top. Federal prosecutors uncovered embezzlement at my old company. The money didn't vanish into the air. It went into private accounts. 2 names came up like a bad joke. My ex-wife and Derek, my former business partner. The same Derek who'd been my best man at my wedding. The same Derek who hugged me and promised we'd figure it out after I got laid off. They'd been sleeping together. They'd been stealing money. And they made sure I took the fall socially while they walked away clean. 2 months later, my ex called again. This time her voice wasn't sharp. It was shaky. Michael, I need help, she said. Derek and I are in serious trouble. The charges, the lawyers, I just need money. I kept my tone calm. You called me the night our divorce finalized, I said. You told me I'd die alone and broke, and you laughed. Remember that? She started crying. Of course she did. I was angry, okay? I didn't mean